Hey guys, welcome to Nathan's Car Care. I'm Nathan, and today I am starting a series on how to install a basic CB radio system. I will show you all the equipment that I'm using and why I chose that equipment, and I will also be showing you how to install it in your vehicle. Now, of course, I'll be installing it on my F-150, so there will be a few extra things that I'll point out that are specific to the F-150. I am definitely not an expert on CB radios. I actually got a lot of help from the guys over at Radio Reference Forum. Go check them out. They're really good. If you have any questions that are not answered in this series, I guarantee you they'll have the answers over there. There may be reasons on your installation that you may want to use different equipment. Go ahead and do that. Pick what's best for you, but I'm just going to show you what I've picked out, what is best for my installation, and what I think is best budget-wise. Make sure that if you have any questions after watching these videos, make sure you do some research. Go check out the Radio Reference Forum. Find out what is best for your situation and your goals. For the radio, I picked a Uniden Pro 520XL. For the price, it comes with a lot of good features. It has 40 channels, 4-watt audio output, and built-in noise eliminator with auto squelch. It also has an instant channel 9 access and can be connected to a public address system. The radio comes with a replaceable inline fuse on the power wire. The mic has a standard screw-on 4-pin style plug with a guide slot to make sure you don't put it on the wrong way. While the mic itself isn't particularly glamorous, it does do the job. The push-to-talk button has a good feel to it, with just the right amount of spring in it, and the clip on the back appears sturdy. The mic cord is a good length and easily stretched. The hardware that Uniden provides to mount your radio is not lacking either, with large knobs on the sides for quick and easy adjustment or removal. The bracket itself has a sufficient range of motion if you need to tilt the radio, and can be installed either on top so that the radio can be hung, or on the bottom if the radio is installed on a dash. And of course, on the bottom we have the built-in speaker, which is actually quite loud and would be perfectly suitable for a on-the-dash mount unless your cab allows a lot of road and engine noise in. Fortunately for like this radio has an external speaker port on the back, which is your standard 3.5mm audio jack. Also on the back there is a plug-in for a PA speaker, as well as the plug-in for your CB antenna, which of course is the male side of the standard PL259 connector. And finally, on the front of the unit you have all your control knobs and switches. Starting with the upper left-hand side, there are switches for the PA function, the A&L function, which stands for automatic noise limiter, and a channel 9 switch. Then we have a simple screen right in the middle that shows you which channel you're on, as well as the signal strength of both received and transmitted signals. As far as the knobs, we have a volume/power knob on the far left, a squelch control, an RF gain knob, and a channel selector knob. And of course there's the mic plug-in, which we discussed earlier. Overall, this is a really good looking radio that is small enough to fit in almost any space while not sacrificing basic features. It is definitely one of the best CB radios that you can get for under $40, and I do have the affiliate link to where you can get this radio both down in the description as well as on my website, nathanscarcare.com. So we have a radio, now we just need an antenna to pick up the signal. For this I have chosen the Fire Stick 2, model number FS5. This is a simple 5-foot fiberglass top-loaded antenna that has a tunable tip. The tunable tip on this one is nice because you don't need any tools to tune it. Simply remove the rubber cap and turn the thumb screw. You don't have to keep track of any little Allen wrenches. The cap that is provided feels like a silicone rubber type, and it fits the top perfectly. There's no play at all in it. And down on the other end we have a threaded base, which is compatible with all Fire Stick branded mounts and also Fire Stick springs, as you can see here. Speaking of springs and mounts, that is just what we need. This antenna isn't going to hold itself upright after all. For maximum flexibility, I've chosen to use a Fire Stick heavy-duty steel spring, which for a 5-foot antenna is an excellent preventative measure. It will reduce the stress on the antenna and provide extra give in the case that our antenna hits something at speed. This spring will extend the life of your antenna, so don't forget it. To actually mount the antennas, I'm going to be using the Fire Stick Heavy Duty Stud Mount, model SO239. You can screw any of the Fire Stick brand antennas or springs into the top, and the bottom has a male PL259 connector for your coax cable. It can be used with any of the mounts that Fire Stick sells, but if you're wanting to make your own mount or drilling into the truck itself, all you need is a 1/2-inch hole and you are good to go. Of course, it comes complete with all the washers that you need to properly install it, and at just over $7, it is hard to beat. We've picked out our radio, antenna, and antenna mounts. Now we just need a cable to connect them all up. To do this, I'm going to employ 18 feet of truck spec brand RG59AU coaxial cable, pre-installed with the female PL259 connectors on both ends. This cable is also shielded to prevent radio frequency leaks and interference. Now you could go for the Fire Stick branded coaxial cable, but at almost 3 times the cost, this truck spec will do the job just fine. As I mentioned earlier, our radio has the external speaker port. Since I'm going to be mounting my radio inside the dash rather than out somewhere on the dash, I'm going to also use this Untitled BC15 speaker. It has your standard 3.5mm audio jack and will plug nicely into our radio. It features a maximum of 15 watts, which will be more than enough for our radio, a noise suppressor button, and a full 3-inch speaker. The quality of the speaker is pretty good, but not something I would listen to music through. Perfect for listening to CB chatter. As far as loudness, it can easily be heard above standard car speakers. In the box, you get the speaker, a mounting stand, and the hardware to fasten it in place. The mounting bracket allows for a full range of motion, so it can be easily pointed in a direction after installation. Before we can use our radio, we have to tune the antenna. To do this, I have selected the Static PDC-7 with the Workman 3-foot jumper coax cable. It comes with a very well written and detailed set of instructions, but of course those are useless. Us guys do not need instructions, so we can get rid of those. In all seriousness, do keep them and be sure to read them over. There's nothing worse than damaging your radio while you're attempting to prevent damage to it. So the meter itself is very sturdy, made entirely out of metal. On the front we have both an SWR meter on top as well as a power meter on the bottom inside this window. We have our forward and reverse switch and a calibration knob, which I will explain when we get to the tuning video. On the back we have 2 male PL259 ports, one for the antenna and then one for the transmitter, which is where our jumper will connect. The Workman jumper which comes with this unit appears to be excellent quality. I expect it to serve its purpose very well. Now the only other things that we need to install all this is a mount to hold the antenna to the vehicle and a mount to hold the radio. If you're mounting on the roof or drilling a hole for the stud mount somewhere else, you're good to go there. No more antenna mounts are needed. And likewise, if you're mounting your radio on the dash or in another spot and plan to screw the supplied mount into the vehicle, then you're all set and can carry on with your install. If you are like me, however, and want to mount your antenna elsewhere, and preferably in a way that does not damage your vehicle, then you will need a mounting bracket. Fire Stick has a bunch of pre-made brackets for sale online that are very versatile and high quality. Since I had some leftover bar steel hanging around, I went ahead and decided to make my own mount. This one is very simple, just a straight piece with a couple holes drilled in it and then bent over at the top where the antenna goes. I then painted it with 2 coats each of Rust-Oleum Automotive Primer, Rust-Oleum Enamel Black, and then Rust-Oleum Enamel Clear Coat. If you do make one like this, be sure to scratch off or mask off the paint in the appropriate locations to allow for a good ground connection. If your truck bed is already grounded, which mine wasn't, then you will need to run a ground cable up to this mount. I will explain all of that in the antenna mounting video. The final piece of the puzzle is going to be our radio mount. Since I'm going to mount mine in the dash of my truck, I need a custom mount to hold it. I made this by taking 3 pieces of aluminum bar stock, riveting them together, and then drilling a couple holes for mounting bolts. Using rivets made it quick and easy to put together. Since it will be hidden under the dash, I chose not to paint it. I also made a faceplate to help hide the extra space from where we will remove parts of the plastic by the cigarette lighter in the dash. Overall, I'm very happy with this bracket as it does the job and was basically free to make. Now if you happen to have a single DIN car radio but have a double DIN slot, you can buy special brackets that will fit almost any CB radio into the extra DIN slot. This is an excellent option if you already have an aftermarket car radio installed. Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure you hit the like button, double check, be sure you're subscribed because like I said, this is a series. There's going to be more videos coming after this one, you don't want to miss them. Be sure you're subscribed, share it with all your friends, and if you could, go ahead and hit that bell icon right next to the subscribe button, so that way, next time I release a video, you get a notification. YouTube's getting a little crazy these days. Even if you're subscribed, they sometimes don't notify you. So be sure that you hit that bell button so that you can be notified when a video comes out. if you could go ahead and check out my webpage, nathanscarcare.com. It has a bunch of helpful resources on it. It has links. It'll have a lot of information about this whole CB installation. There'll be pages for every single video. It'll have a lot of good information there. Go check it out. Also, I have my Amazon store there where you can buy everything you see in the videos. So everything you saw today, it's in that Amazon store. Go check it out. Every time that you buy from it, I get a bit of a kickback, so it does help me out. Helps me make more content. And until next time, this is Nathan, signing off.